Hey guys, it's been 2 days since the last little bit of video and just want to give you a little bit of progress. We've just swapped that out for a 4-way switch. Emma's doing some dancing with the wee man. Got some music pumping in the background. So she's basically just plastering in this room. That's her big thing. So we're going to plaster up those gaps above the shower. And that's going well, so that's the first coat. First coat there. And yeah, otherwise this is a setup for the wee man while we do what we need to do. So that's cool. My challenge when Emma's got the ladder free be to get into that roof. Bathroom's a bit small for 2 people. So I've got some construction adhesive and some jib grabber screws. And my plan is simply, just as I've just done over there to see if this would work or not, put a whole bunch of screws in and then just slowly one by one tighten them up so that it'll pull the ceiling up slowly. And instead of going straight for the obvious spot, start back here where there's like the slope begins sort of thing and just slowly work and tie it all in together. I'll do the same with this coving here, but probably with smaller nails rather than screws. And as far as this painted wallpaper goes, fuck knows. So we'll see how we do. But yeah, so that's my strategy. So the reason the light's blurry is because it just must be the frequency that LED is being put out by that light. Doesn't mess well with the aperture speed of your camera. Just to get a little bit technical, but yeah, so I think I found the way that coping this should work. My bottom edge on this corner, take a straight line up, get rid of all that paper, cut as much as you can away, leave that as thin as you can, and I'm going to get a file soon and just rasp out whatever else we can, because learning from last time, if that's still too thick, it's a mission. So there we have it. Two sides, both sort of opposite, so when they go up it'll work out, and combined these two lengths are too long, but what I get to do is put one in place, have the other end already cut, the hard part, and just measure the length, chop it straight, nice and easy. Makes it a lot easier for next time. So I think that's a good spot to leave that there, because I don't actually have the panel pins that I need with me to finish that. They're at home. I'm going to put this header piece of architrave back up. Real simple. Bust that nail out, put some more in, make some holes, make it fit. Too easy. Well, never mind. It's good, but I don't have the panel pins, which is what you're supposed to use to put this sort of thing up. Although I will admit, now, one interesting thing is we're not going to be able to cover the holes where the pins go. So one trick for that in this older looking wood is to essentially just get sawdust and glue and overfill your hole with sawdust and glue, and it looks a lot more natural than any other filler that you're going to be able to get when you're working with a material that's not painted. So that's the plan for that. All right, next task. Getting pretty standard now. This door handle has been crap for a while, so we've taken it out. A lot of issues with it, and I'm just going to install some of these. So I'm up here on the roof, just sort of looking at the gutter and going, that really needs to be emptied too. But I came up here to look at these power lines that, I don't know, the sun's probably in the way. They're going straight through some trees, and it's definitely our duty, because it's our side of the boundary, to cut those trees down to make it work. But I also wanted to come up here to our mains entry box and just take a look at these two joins, make sure that they're legit and not going to come apart and be a big hassle in the middle of the night. It's old mains entry box up there. Again, tested, made sure it's all dead. The fuse has been pulled down there, but you still got to be Very, very, very careful, no matter whether you're qualified or not with this sort of shit. So, yeah, so basically these two here have been joined by a little bolt, and that bolt basically sort of crimps it down, but in a way that you can undo it again if you had to. And these are singly insulated up into the box there, where they'll be joined to another cable that goes down to the switchboard. I'm actually okay with that. I mean, this one is a bit shit because like the tape and the insulations come off, but I think this one, which is the phase, that looks like it's had some heat shrink put around it. So we'll actually probably leave them as they are. They'll be fine. Absolutely though, need to address the fiber cable that's been wrapped around a tree branch over there, because if that tree branch starts swaying in the wind, it's no good. So I'm gonna have to like climb up those pungas and put a saddle on those pungas to try and keep that out of the tree and yeah, do a bit of trimming, I suppose. That's all part of it. And yeah, probably would be good to cut those down before we get the power back on. But we want that power back on basically this next week, so. Shit. Oh well, probably a good place to end the video there. But yeah. Have a good one. We'll catch you later. It's coming down to the wire now. Saturday afternoon, and we need to have this place rented out by next weekend. So Emma's done the undercoat and finished up with all the plastering sort of stuff. And she's just waiting on me now to put these trims on around the window and door. Also showed up today, and someone, I'm presuming my wonderful mother, has come and weeded pretty much all the grass around the whole section, and saved us a huge bunch of work to have to do one of these days. So now we get to focus on other things to get this up to a better standard. So amazing, Mum. Honestly, that saved us so much work. Thank you so much. That's really, really helpful. Like, yeah, really good. Okay. So I get the trims on today. My job is the flooring tomorrow, and then we should be pretty good in here to finish the final painting touches. Exciting. Exciting. All right, so I've got some filler and some architrave, and now I've got to figure out how they go together. So boom, that's one done. Plan is to get just some white silicone and fill that gap. It was plaster before, but trying to use a wooden packer, I'm pretty sure it's just not going to work. So I've put that on. I've renovated around the little bits of overlap. Like probably still got a little bit more to do there, just to take that edge off, I suppose, and expose it a bit more. But I need something in there to stop that jib from getting moist. Lovely word, isn't it? Yeah, so trim that back. I'll silicone up around it. So not gap filler, but silicone. And yeah, those corners are pretty shoddy, but they're close enough. They'll work. So, could do the baseboard. Well, no, I'll do that tomorrow. But this window, this needs some serious attention. And you see how there's like no gap there to a giant gap there? This is 10 mil wide, and that's a 10 mil gap. I can actually fit this whole piece of wood inside this window, and it's because we didn't take off all of the wooden bits underneath there to use that as fixing. That was attempting to be a cunning idea, but it's not. And I've got this little piece of dress timber that I was using for my sister's birthday present, belated birthday present, but I think I'll use that piece for that window, so I can just get another bit whenever I actually get around to it, which will be someday. So the window now. Okay. Cool, so that's sort of worked out all right. Cut some small bits for the 10 mil, and then another bit that I got the planer onto and just whittled down till it fit. And at the very least, that pack out is going to be able to have the nails poke through it and actually hold things in a bit tighter. So now I'll do another short one here and get the planer, plane that down, make that fit as well. So I put the one on the top, and it is just overhanging, and there's just a tiny bit of a gap under there, which is fine, because again, I was planning to rip this trim so that it would pack out like the whole width between the windowsill and where my architrave is going to start. So like that space there. That's just not going to work out though. So just get some, again, silicone, no more gaps, and seal this up. I think is the best way. So, but I've never done a windowsill before. So I'm gonna take the measurement from the quirk there to the quirk over there, add the width of my trim, which is 40, double that because I've got essentially 2 bits running down either side. And then I'll add another, say 10 mil either side just to make it look a little nicer, which brings me to 650. So I'm gonna cut this piece of timber to 650 and then basically do a little notch for it to actually slot in there. So there we go. So I cut this bit out last night and it went pretty well, but there was a piece in the corner here, like a big square that would have been exposed. So I've decided to measure, went and bought this bit this morning from Mitre 10, measured it out, X marks the spot to remove it. Got my jigsaw and router to just do a nice little sort of a smooth edge along here, but it's a substantial amount wider as well, so could be a little bit of fun. But yeah, people ask me once in a while about like what quality of tools to buy, and I reckon try and gauge how often you're going to use it. If you are going to use it once, maybe twice a year, go the real cheap stuff, the stuff that you don't mind. It'll do the job, but it's not going to cost you like $30 or $60 for one router bit, because it's crazy, because you're not going to get that much use out of it. Not worth. But if you can foresee yourself using it a lot more than that, then yeah, go with the nice ones. You're going to end up with a nicer product, longer lasting tool, and generally tools are one of those few things where like the more money you put into it, generally the longer it'll last, and the more the better it'll be, the easier it'll be, the nicer it'll feel in your hands, that sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, jigsaw is a tool for this. I tried doing that one with the skill saw. Yeah, bit rough. So we'll do this properly.
Yeah, it looks better. It actually looks way better like that, I think.
So yeah, it cut out all right. But all that routing was for naught, as it turns out. Because if you look at that like that, it's a strange looking bit of timber. There's real wide there to pretty narrow there. And it's because on both edges, we've now got an angle to sort of compensate for this slope of the wall. But it does mean that this back edge is now in line across the window, and that the front edge, you have the same amount of windowsill sticking out on both edges. It'd be really nice to route it, but we ain't going back to our place just to grab the router and stuff. I mean, yeah, no. Screw that. So that's fine. We'll put that in and get this trim finished so Emma can do some bits and pieces. Not able to film everything, but here's the trim. So it sort of lines up here and there. Got a nice thing. This is silicone, 25-year guarantee that it's not going to crack or bend and is paintable and all the rest of that. So we'll sand that down a bit as well and paint that. Emma's just punching some nails, some pins into the architrave. And yeah, come in and prep the floor tomorrow, or prep the floor last thing we do tonight, so I can come in and that baseboard's finally on and we can lay this floor. But yeah, this architrave's finally done. Oh, Emma, one other thing I just noticed, up in that top corner there's like a little gap. We should probably put some silicone in that too. So I might just do that real quick. You getting over it? It's all worth it one day.